Hi guys, and welcome to my weekly garden video. This time of year I'm actually harvesting lettuce pretty regularly, which is awesome, but I did notice that some of my cabbage had bolted, so I ripped that out. Right after I posted last week's video, this crow was sitting there and I went out and checked on my newly planted cauliflower, and it's kind of hard to see, but I found some holes there along with my cat, and some kale I had recently planted got pulled out. So I replanted the kale, which is right there. I think it'll be okay. My cat's going a little crazy, but I pretty much lost all the cauliflower I had germinated and grown and put in the ground because the crow took it away. I did decide to do a thing. We have a giant chicken run that we put in kind of before we even rescued any chickens, so we weren't sure how big of a run we were going to need. And I wanted to reclaim this space as part of the garden. Not that I need a bigger garden, but I want to have an area specifically for perennials, like maybe some berries or herbs or like asparagus. And you can see some of the chicken coming in going, wait, why can't we go into our run? So what I did is I took about half of the run away from the chickens, kind of reestablished their little space up there closer to the coop, and I cut all this down, covered it in plastic, and I'm going to let it sit over the summer and just kind of die off, and then this fall winter I will make some new beds. But there's the finished product. I'm very excited about that. As I was doing that, I noticed that the pigs were just lazing in the yard, kind of a reminder that I need to take a break, so I did sit down for a little bit and take a break. I live in the Pacific Northwest, and it's pretty early still to get some summer plants in, like tomatoes and cucumbers and stuff, but I decided to plant them out anyway. I usually get them in early. They may not like it, but they've always survived, and I think it's funny Moo Moo in the background checking it out. I also planted some beans, which are right there, and I planted some zucchini. So really all of my summer plants are mostly in the ground. I also uppotted some germinated squash, and there you see in the greenhouse not a lot's happening, like some squash and a couple like basil that are starting to emerge. This hummingbird was funny. It was playing with me when I was watering. But here's an update on the garden. There's my cabbages not doing so great, some spinach here, and then there's my lettuces, which I'm harvesting. It's hard to see the onions, but they are in there. They're doing okay. I've got some sunflowers that I grow for the birds, and then I've got my garlic getting ready to go. The cucumbers in the ground now, and here are my beets in the front with a peony and then some tomatoes along the top. To the right, you see my zucchini with some overwintered celery there and cilantro as well. This was my cauliflower row, which now is kind of destroyed, and you see some carrots in the ground. This is my bean row where I got some bush beans, some pole beans, and some fava beans with some potatoes above. And last, here are my peas, and I've got my first flowers on the peas, which is very exciting. But I thought I'd leave you this week with just a little video of some goats, a sheep, and a chicken in the field.